taking a solo hike when this happened.
God. I was walking along this trail. I just heard the creepiest.
Hello?
Look what these are. What the is going on in here?
Did you know that over 800 people have vanished without a trace in the woods of North America alone in the last century? Yes, a staggering 800 individuals, eerily similar to you and me, have stepped into the wilderness clutches, never to return. This is not a concocted story to scare away children from the forests. This is a disconcerting reality that is enough to make even the most seasoned hiker's blood run cold. So you may wonder, what causes these alarming disappearances? Many attribute it to the wild animals that inhabit the North American forests. These woods are teeming with an array of creatures, each more formidable than the last. The elusive mountain lion, with its stealthy stalking, the daunting grizzly bear, ruling its territory with an iron paw. These creatures reign supreme in their wild, untamed domain. Yet, it might not be the animals at all that are responsible for these numerous disappearances. The woodland landscape itself, unexplored, relentless, and often ruthless, may be the real culprit here. The wilderness is a labyrinth filled with hidden dangers and treacherous trails. A simple misstep, a slightly misinterpreted map, and suddenly you're plunged into a boundless sea of trees and silence. The forests, my friends, are as enchanting as they are lethal. They entice the naive adventurers with the allure of exploration and solitude, only to devour them entirely in their sprawling expanse. But wait, there's more to this mystery that meets the eye. Some people propose a theory that the wood's ample hazards and dangerous fauna can't account for all the inexplicable disappearances. There are mumblings of something more nefarious at work. Age-old tales handed down through the generations speak of bizarre lights flickering between the trees, uncanny sounds resonating in the silence, and shadows moving independently. They speak of the unfathomable, the paranormal, the stuff of nightmares. These stories tell of more than just the inherent dangers of venturing into the wild. Sometimes the threat is of a more ominous nature. Elements beyond our comprehension, phenomena that defy logical explanation, mysteries that remain shrouded in the dark corners of the woods. So, the next time you plan a solo trip to the woods, bear in mind these eerie tales. Maintain a sharp mind, respect the wilderness, and always remember that you might not be the only presence in the woods. The wilderness might be beautiful, but it's also a force to be reckoned with. It's a world where nature's raw power is on full display, and only the most skilled and prepared can truly navigate it without facing the terrifying consequences. Always tread lightly, respect the rules of the wild, and remember that every step you take into the forest is a step into the unknown. Because, as countless tales have proven, the woods of North America are as enchanting as they are perilous, as inviting as they are treacherous. Remember, when you are in the wilderness, you are stepping into a world that may not be as serene as it appears. But sometimes it's not just the wilderness that poses a threat. Sometimes it's something much more sinister. So the next time you find yourself alone in the woods, remember these tales. Keep your wits about you, respect the wilderness, and always be aware that you might not be as alone as you think. Imagine the chilling wind whistling through the trees, the eerie silence being all alone in the vast expanse of the wilderness. The wilderness, a place where nature reigns supreme and man is but a fleeting visitor. It's an expansive world where the golden sun dips behind towering pines, casting elongated, menacing shadows that create an optical illusion. It's a world of silence broken only by the rustling of leaves, the distant hoot of a solitary owl, and the disturbing snap of twigs underfoot. As the twilight descends, the morph from a sanctuary of beauty into a terrifying, impossible labyrinth. The mighty trees that once stood tall as majestic guardians now appear to tower ominously, their branches stretching out like gnarled, monstrous hands. The path, once so clear and defined, is now a confusing jumble of undergrowth. The sense of direction, once a reliable friend, abandons you in this strange and alien environment. Yet it is not just the inherent fear of being lost that gnaws at your courage. The wilderness itself is an intimidating adversary. The sharp, biting cold that penetrates your clothes and chills your bones. The persistent rain that seeps into your fabric, soaking you to the skin. the oppressive heat that saps your energy. These are the elements you must contend with in this vast expanse of wilderness. It's a relentless battle for survival, a grueling test willpower and endurance. Amidst all this, you must not forget the wildlife. The massive bear that views you as a threat, the venomous snake camouflaged in the grass, the fierce wolf that howls hauntingly in the distance. Each creature a possible danger in this unforgiving landscape. The wilderness is their realm, their ground, and you are an unfamiliar invader. The wilderness is more than just a place. It's a living, breathing entity that observes and interacts, that challenges and intimidates. It demands respect and imparts severe lessons to those who disrespect its rules. In the wilderness, you are alone with your thoughts, your anxieties, your vulnerabilities. The wilderness is a realm where the fine line between reality and imagination becomes hazy. The rustling in the bushes can either be a harmless rabbit or a lurking predator. The wind whispering through the trees might just be the wind, or it could be something far more threatening. But what happens when the forest starts playing tricks on your mind? There's something about the isolation in the woods that can play tricks on your mind. Picture yourself, if you dare, in the enveloping solitude of the deep, unexplored forest. It's you, and only you, held in the gentle but firm embrace of Mother Nature. Her subtle whispers, like secrets, are carried on the gentle breeze. Her rhythmic heartbeat echoes in the rustling of the leaves underfoot and in the branches overhead. But as the sun begins to dip below the horizon, casting long, ominous shadows that dance and sway with the wind, the whispers transition into murmured chatter, the heartbeat morphs into a relentless pounding drum, and then it is the illusion of company in the solitude. Muffled voices where there should be none, menacing shapes forming in the shadows where only emptiness should lie. It begins to play a game of you're not alone. Let's journey into some real-life stories that shine a light on this phenomenon. Take, for example, the case of an experienced hiker who, whilst on a solo trip through a remote, dense forest, began hearing the sounds of hushed, indistinct conversations echoing in the distance. Despite his efforts to locate the source of the sounds, he found the voices always seemed tantalizingly out of reach, always a step too far, always just a murmur. Another example can be found in the story of a courageous woman who, during a solo camping trip, was jolted awake in the middle of the night by the heart-wrenching sound of a baby crying. Driven by concern, she tirelessly searched the area surrounding her camp but found absolutely no sign of anyone else. Crying persisted until the first light of dawn, when it ceased suddenly, behind an uncanny silence that hovered in the cool air. Incidents like these, while they send a chill down your spine, are not unheard of. Many theories aim to explain this eerie phenomenon. Some argue it's the mind's response to the fear and isolation that accompanies solitude. They suggest our brains, wired for social interaction, fill the silence with imagined sounds to cope with the loneliness. Others put forth the idea that the heightened state of alertness and adrenaline rush that come with being alone in unfamiliar territory can cause us to misinterpret natural sounds as human voices. But there's one theory that's decidedly more unsettling. It suggests that forests are liminal spaces, thin places where world and something else intersect. That the voices and noises we hear aren't figments of our imagination, but echoes from another realm seeping into our own reality. Sometimes, though, the noises aren't just in your head. Picture this. You're alone in the woods and you start hearing footsteps behind you. But when you turn around, there's nothing there. This isn't merely an extract from a terrifying nightmare or a scene from a horror film, but a reality for many adventuresome souls who've dared to venture into the wilderness alone. Countless tales have been shared over campfires and whispered in hushed tones about such eerie experiences. Take, for instance, the story of a seasoned hiker on the Appalachian Trail. He swore left and right that he could hear the distinct sound of footsteps trailing him for several miles. Despite being an experienced outdoorsman, his instincts told him he wasn't alone. He turned around time and time again only to be met with the vast, empty wilderness. Not a soul in sight, yet the sound of footsteps persisted. It was as if the echoes of a presence were mocking him, reminding him of his isolation. Then, there's the tale of a brave camper who dared to venture into the dense, foreboding forests of Oregon. On a particularly quiet night, he spotted shadows like phantoms dancing around his tent. His heart pounded in his chest as he watched the shadows move, yet he found no trace of anyone when dawn broke. The shadows had vanished as mysteriously as they had appeared, leaving him with an unsettling feeling of unease. Such stories aren't figments of overactive imaginations. They're recounted by those who've lived through these mind-boggling experiences. Experiences that chill you to the bone, that make you question your sanity, that toy with your perception of reality. Is there something lurking in the shadows, or is it all an illusion created by our mind? Is it fear playing tricks on us? Or is there a reality hidden in the unseen? This is what unsettles us, the fear of the unknown. That primal fear that gnaws at our sanity when we're alone in the wilderness. Every rustle in the underbrush, every snap of a twig, every inexplicable sound or movement morphs into a potential threat. Your heart beats faster, your senses are on high alert, and your mind starts painting vivid pictures of unseen horrors. But the true terror isn't always what you can hear or see. It's the silence, the nothingness that can truly chill your blood. When you're bracing yourself for an attack from the unseen, but all you're met with is the deadening silence of the wilderness. That's when the fear truly sets in. It's not the beast you can see that's terrifying, it's the unseen. Psychologists term this phenomenon fear of the unknown. It's our brain's primal response to potential threats, making us overly cautious, overly aware. Ironically, it's this fear, this heightened sense of awareness, that keeps us safe, that keeps us alive. It's our mind's way of protecting us from the unseen threats, the ones we can't perceive. But the fear still lingers, reminding us of the unseen that might lurk in the shadows. But even scarier than what you can hear or see is what you can't. Every forest is more than just trees and wildlife. There are inexplicable phenomena that linger within its boundaries. Imagine this. You are alone in the forest with only the moon to light your path. The only sounds you hear are the sporadic fluttering of leaves. Suddenly, a peculiar light shimmers in the distance. A peculiar luminescence not akin to any known woodland creature's eyeshine. You could attribute this to fireflies, but the light is too bright, too steady. This isn't a hallucination, but a reality encountered by numerous solitary wanderers of the wild. Now think about this. You've made camp, everything neatly arranged. You leave for a brief moment only to find your belongings in disarray, with some items missing upon your return. No evidence of animals, no footprints, no plausible explanation. Such mysterious incidents have been reported by countless people, experienced survivalists and novices alike, instilling a lingering, unsettling feeling long after their departure from the forest. These peculiar incidents, inexplicable lights, disappearing objects, are they simple coincidences, mind's tricks? Or do they hint at something more profound beyond the realm of our comprehension? Speculations are plentiful, each more frightening than the previous one. Some indicate the existence of unknown flying objects, alien beings with highly advanced technology, observing, learning, and intervening. Others suggest a spectral presence, spirits of the forest, lost souls tethered to the wilderness, making their existence felt in the most disturbing ways. Regardless of the theory, one fact persists. An unexplained threat dwells within the woods, a force that eludes reason. This serves as a chilling reminder that our understanding of the world, even the forests we've traversed numerous times, is confined, possibly even flawed. But how can one defend oneself from something that is beyond comprehension? The forests hold mysteries, enigmas that may forever remain unsolved, dangers that we may never understand. However, keep this in mind. Fear is the mind's most formidable weapon. Harness it with prudence, for knowledge, respect, and vigilance are your most reliable allies when confronted with the unknown. Knowing how to stay safe in the woods is crucial, especially if you're alone. The woods, as we've seen through countless stories and tales, can be a place of haunting beauty, a serene landscape painted with lush greenery, hosting a symphony of sounds from numerous creatures. Yet, this inviting scene can swiftly transform into an unfamiliar territory filled with dangers that lurk in the shadows, waiting to catch the unwary off guard. Let's dive the practical strategies you must employ to keep yourself safe while exploring the wilderness. The first rule of thumb, and the most important one, is to always inform someone about your plans. It might seem unnecessary, but it is absolutely crucial. Let them know where you intend to go, the path you intend to take, and most significantly, when you expect to return. This simple precautionary measure can potentially save you from spending a night alone in the wilderness and expedite your rescue. Moving on, having a reliable means of communication is equally vital. In this day and age, a cell phone is almost a second nature, an essential lifeline. However, in the wilderness, a cell phone is only as good as its signal. Too often, cellular signals falter in remote areas. The alternative? Consider a satellite phone or a personal locator beacon. These devices can maintain connections even in the deepest parts of the wilderness, making them invaluable for any excursion into the woods. Now let's explore the survival items, your essential tools for navigating and surviving in the wilderness. These are the things that can help you out of a tight spot or secure your safety if you lose your bearings. An effective knife, a fire starter, a space blanket for warmth, a compass for direction, these are all essentials. Additionally, it's wise to carry a first aid kit. This kit should include basic medicines, antiseptics, bandages, a thermometer, and any other necessary medical supplies. An injury in the wilderness can quickly escalate if not addressed promptly and effectively. And we certainly cannot overlook the importance of water and food. Hydration and nourishment will maintain your energy levels, keep you alert, and ensure your survival. It's always advisable to carry more provisions than you think you'll need. Moreover, the woods is a living entity, constantly communicating with those who understand its language. Learning this language, how to read the signs of the woods, is crucial. The rustle of leaves might be just a harmless squirrel, or it could signal something far more threatening. The woods can play tricks on you, especially when you're alone, altering your perceptions and testing your resolve. Despite taking all these precautions, remember, there's no guarantee of safety. The wilderness is unpredictable and can throw unforeseen challenges your way. You could do everything right, meticulously follow every safety guideline, and still find yourself face-to-face with an unseen horror. This is the reality of the wilderness. So stay vigilant, keep your senses alert, respect the wilderness, and understand that it is a dynamic environment, a place of incredible beauty that can also be unforgiving. No amount of can account for every possible scenario, but even the best prepared can find themselves in danger. No matter how well prepared you are, sometimes things can go horribly wrong. This phrase rings alarmingly true even for the most seasoned explorers and wilderness enthusiasts. Take for example the story of John, a highly experienced and dedicated hiker. He embarked on a solo adventure in the thick, verdant forests of the Appalachian Trail, equipped with his reliable compass, an abundance of provisions, and a multitude of hiking experiences chalked up in his memoirs. However, a single misstep on a barely perceptible trail resulted in a fall down a steep, treacherous ravine, causing him to break his leg and find himself stranded in the heart of the wild. Despite his extensive preparation and wealth of knowledge, John was left in a dire, life-threatening situation, countless miles away from the nearest sign of civilization or help. Then consider the harrowing experience of Sarah, an avid wildlife enthusiast and a nature lover. She embarked on an expedition into the core of the Alaskan wilderness, armed with bear repellent and the appropriate gear. Yet, on one quiet evening, she found herself standing just feet away from a giant grizzly bear, her self-defense repellent proving utterly ineffective. The bear, without any apparent provocation, attacked. Sarah endured a terrifying ordeal, one she was exceedingly fortunate to have survived. We can't overlook the story of a group of proficient spelunkers who dared to traverse the intricate and labyrinthine cave systems of Kentucky's famed Mammoth Cave National Park. Despite their meticulous planning, comprehensive knowledge, and extensive caving experience, they found themselves ensnared deep within the bowels of the earth when an unforeseen flash flood obstructed their only exit. It became a frantic race against time and swiftly rising waters, serving as a chilling testament to the unpredictable and unforgiving nature of Mother Earth. These experiences serve as a stark reminder of the inherent dangers that lurk within a place of pure beauty, yet fraught with peril. The wilderness demands respect, vigilance, and caution, even from the most experienced adventurers. Being prepared is certainly important, but it does not guarantee invulnerability. The forests are teeming with hidden threats and mysteries that can catch the most experienced and prepared individuals by surprise. Therefore, the next time you decide to embark on a solo adventure into the wilderness, remember these tales and take every possible precaution. After all, when dealing with the untamed, merciless wilderness, it's always better to err on the side of caution. Safety should always be paramount because it's always better to be safe than sorry. The woods can be a beautiful place, but they can also be a place of danger and mystery. These words resonate deeply with us as we look back on our discussion today. The awe-inspiring beauty of the natural world, the peaceful solitude it offers, and the disquieting sense of the unknown. A paradoxical juxtaposition, the woods can embody both tranquility and terror. Let's take a pause to re-examine the primary points we've addressed. The unsettling reality of the wilderness, its relentless, harsh nature, and the peculiar experiences reported by those brave or foolish enough to delve into its enigmatic depths. We've journeyed into the unseen terrors that lurk just beyond our sight, and the unidentified threats that make the woods a place to tread with caution. We've underscored the significance of safety measures and preparedness. Knowledge, remember, is your most reliable ally in the wilderness. Arm yourself with it consistently. Be it comprehending the local and fauna, mastering navigation, or being ready for unpredictable weather shifts. Every piece of preparation matters. It can be the difference between a secure homecoming and a disastrous incident. We've narrated the tales of the unfortunate souls who, caught off guard and inexperienced, became victims to the merciless wilderness. Their tragic experiences should serve as a warning, a cautionary tale for every individual who dares to venture into the woods alone. As we approach the end of our discussion, let's keep in mind that the woods are not just a place of beauty and wonder, but also a locale that commands respect. They harbor secrets and perils that could surprise even the most experienced of explorers. So, whether you are a seasoned hiker used to rough terrains or a casual stroller appreciating the beauty, take heed. Be prepared, stay vigilant, and show the woods respect they deserve. For amidst their tranquility, the woods whisper ancient tales, narratives of wonder, awe, and caution. They compel us to remember that while the wilderness offers us profound beauty and serenity, it also demands our respect and vigilance. Stay safe out there, and remember, the woods are a place of wonder, but also a place to respect and fear. Being prepared is the first step to surviving in the wilderness. We've echoed this sentiment throughout our discussion, and now we're going to delve into the specifics of what that preparedness entails. A well-equipped survival kit is an essential tool for anyone venturing into the wilderness. It's not just a box of handy tools, it's a lifeline that could mean the difference between peril and survival. But what does a good survival kit consist of? And how can each item potentially save your life? Firstly, a reliable source of fire is crucial. Waterproof matches, lighters, or even a flint and steel can provide warmth, cook food, purify water, and signal for help. Secondly, a good knife. A versatile tool, it can be used for cutting, carving, hunting, and even as a makeshift screwdriver. A compass and map, while seemingly old-fashioned, can be lifesavers when technology fails. Don't underestimate the importance of navigation skills in the wilderness. Medical supplies, including bandages, antiseptic wipes, tweezers, and painkillers, can provide immediate relief in the face of injury. A whistle can serve as an effective signal device, often heard farther than a human voice. Lastly, a water purification system or tablets can ensure you have access to clean drinking water, a fundamental aspect of survival. Food isn't as immediate a concern as water, but energy bars or other non-perishable items can be life-saving in a prolonged survival situation. Let's take a moment to reflect on real-life examples where these items have proven their worth. Like the story of a hiker who got lost in the Appalachian Trail but survived for days on end with the help of his survival kit. Or the tale of a stranded climber who used a whistle to signal rescuers, saving his life in the process. Remember, a good survival kit can be the difference between life and death. It is not just about having these items, but understanding their use and importance. So stay prepared, stay safe, and respect the wilderness. It's a place of wonder, but also a place of survival. Knowing how to use your survival kit is just as important as having one. It's not enough to simply carry these items with you into the wilderness. You need to understand their functions and how to use them effectively. Essential survival skills like building a shelter, starting a fire, and finding water are crucial. Let's delve into these skills and see them in action. Building a shelter can protect you from harsh weather conditions and dangerous wildlife. It can be as simple as finding a large, fallen tree and leaning branches against it, or as intricate as creating a teepee-like structure with sticks and leaves. Regardless of the type, ensure the shelter is sturdy and insulated. Starting a fire is another essential skill. Remember those waterproof matches or flint and steel from your survival kit? This is where they come in handy. Gather dry leaves, twigs, and branches. Start small and gradually add larger pieces until you have a steady fire. This will provide warmth, cook food, and signal for help. Finding water is perhaps one of the most vital survival skills. Look for flowing streams or collect rainwater. Remember to purify it using your water purification tablets or system from your survival kit. Dehydration can be a silent killer in survival situations. Let's reflect on some real-life examples where these skills have proven their worth. Consider the story of a lost explorer in the Amazon rainforest who survived by building a shelter from large leaves and starting a fire with flint and steel. Or the tale of a stranded desert traveler who found and purified water from a hidden oasis. These stories demonstrate the importance of not just having survival items, but also the skills to use them effectively. With the right skills and tools, you can significantly increase your chances of survival in the wilderness. Remember, it's not just about surviving, but thriving. Respect the wilderness, stay prepared, and never underestimate the power of survival skills.